Well, good evening, Grapevine Mustangs, and welcome to Feedstore BBQ. Can we make some noise for the Coach DeBesse show? Well, we are excited. Come on in, guys. We're excited you're here, and we got a good show for you tonight. Some special guests from that coaching staff, as we've got Jeffrey Hyde as well as Charles Wheeler that are with us tonight. Give them a hand. And we'll also hear from all of our DNA players this week. But first, we got to welcome in Coach DeBesse. And, boy, what a crazy game on Friday. Really, the first quarter was just ruckus. It was 6 possessions, 5 turnovers combined. And I'll let you just kind of take it from there.
Well, you know, we had a am I on? I'm good now? I'm good now? Hello. I'm good? There we go. So coming into the ball game, this is a microcosm of our season. So coming into the ball game, our defense in 6 ball games had only generated 4 takeaways. They equaled their season total Friday night with 4 takeaways. So did an unbelievable job taking the ball away. 3 interceptions. That's the good news. The bad news is our offense had come into the game, done a great job protecting the ball, had only 5 turnovers in 6 games, and we equaled our season total on the night with 5. 3 in the first quarter. So someone on the staff's not living right. I think it's me. But I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a statistic like that. I've never been around a statistic like that where you have you know, those kind of totals, particularly coming into the game like we did, and that was the difference in the game. We gave the Colony 6 short fields, meaning 50-yard line or in our territory, and everybody knows anything about football that the closer you get to the goal line, the closer you get the ball to the goal line, your chances go up exponentially as far as scoring is concerned. So our defense did a heck of a job, particularly in the first quarter, limiting them to, I think, 14 points. But way too many short fields. And then when you have 5 turnovers, you deny yourself the opportunity to put points on the board. And so, you know, while it ended up a 7-point game with 2.5 minutes to go, I was proud of the kids for fighting back. I've been proud of the kids for that all year long. Once again, it's the same story. We can't get out of our own way.
From the second quarter on, it felt pretty different. It seemed like you guys had gotten your feet underneath you.
I told the kids that at halftime. I thought we won the second quarter, at least most of the second quarter. I thought we had the momentum. We looked like the better football team coming into halftime. We just failed to capitalize. You know, just didn't have We failed on 4th and 1 down there in the red zone. You know, didn't have enough consistency offensively to put anything on the board. As I said, defensively, you know, I thought we did a heck of a job all night long. I think they had one really, they had one play where they exposed us a little bit from a tackling standpoint down their sideline. Quarterback did a good job of running. You know, this is not an excuse. We're not making excuses. This is reality. Coach Wheeler pointed this out to me as we came out to halftime. After halftime, we had 2 seniors starting on defense in the second half. You know, obviously Bradley Stanyers, was lost. Brady Boozer was lost. And so what happens is now all of a sudden you got youth out there, not just youth, but then the 2 seniors that are out there are playing out of position. Carlos McKay went to corner because we lost Dallas Davis early in the game. Carlos went to corner from safety. Thomas Powers then had to go from outside backer to safety. They did a great job, but they hadn't been practicing there. And so there were issues with that. And so that's part of football. It's the way it is. But it was a pretty good offense that Colony brought out there. They got their quarterback back for our game. Lucky us. And he did a nice job.
And one more thing before we get to your players. You did just mention it. We've talked over and over about the fight and the fight and the fight. And it felt like it probably could have been pretty easy to cave in when everything felt like it was going against you. What specifically were you proud of with the fight that the team showed? Because as you mentioned, it was a 1-possession ball game with 2.5 minutes left.
Well, the same thing I've been proud of all year long is that, there's no finger pointing. It's trying to lift each other up. It's trying to do everything they can for the other side of the ball to help. I told them at halftime we didn't do a very good job of playing complementary football. You know, we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. When the defense would do something good, we'd, you know, turn the ball over and what have you. So we didn't do a very, very good job of playing complementary football, but it was a positive, confident locker room at halftime. And it was a positive, positive sideline throughout the game, and tremendous disappointment afterwards. I feel for these guys. I do. I mean, they're busting their tail. They're doing everything we ask of them, and we're not getting, we're not getting the tangible results that you need. You know, you can talk all you want about the moral victories and all that kind of stuff. You need to freaking win. You know, I mean, that's what everybody needs, and so I feel for these guys, but I'm really proud of them. We came out this morning and had a very spirited, really good practice. You know. We haven't played our best football yet all year long. That's still out there somewhere, and I'm going to believe that over the next 3 weeks. And like I told them today, we get to play the top 3 teams in the district. We don't have to play them. We get to play them over the next 3 weeks. And that's exciting. That's a great opportunity. It's a great challenge for our guys, and that's how we're going to look at it.
Well, I appreciate you always going through last week with us. Let's talk to the DNA Award winners from this last week's game. We got a couple of new faces that'll be here. Let's start with Tatum Evans, who wins the Attitude Award. Give it up for Tatum. Well, again, we've talked about you going from backer to D end, and you kind of had to now with Bradley out. Right. How different was that without the leader, and how do you feel like you? What changed for you having to do things maybe a little differently?
Nothing really changed, to be honest, because I've been playing D end. But, I mean, guys had to step up. Like, I'm really proud of Luke Gormley and Cooper for stepping in. Luke had to play end, and Cooper came in and played inside backer, and they did a great job.
So when you think about that Attitude Award that you get, and it's easy probably to get down because so many injuries and the season's not going, but how proud were you of the guys in the way that they continued to fight and had that attitude despite all of those losses?
Yeah, I mean, I think it showed in this game. We came to fight. Like, we were getting attempted takeaways. We were trying to get the ball out, and we were fighting till the end. And so I was super proud of them and how they fought, despite, like you said, the injuries.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk to one of your defensive partners there. Let's talk to Linnell Randolph, who joins us for the DNA Award for the first time. Thank you, Tatum. Linnell, come on in. Congratulations on a great game. You had take us through the interception. We'll start with that. You were one of those turnovers, but take us through your interception.
Oh, yeah. It was really just a mindset thing to, keep myself in the game. Even though me being where I was in a bad position, just, having a drive to just make a play, to just have that repetition of thinking in my mind, just get it. Yeah.
What's it like being a part of this defense right now? I know there's some guys that are down, but there's a lot of leaders here and a lot of really good players on that side of the ball.
I love it because, it's just my team, my brothers. That's how I look at them. Yeah. And, being a part of that, it's just like family. So, yeah.
Well, let's give it up for Linnell. Congratulations. Great ball game. Outstanding interception. So, Tatum, then Linnell, let's bring up Ian Hatton. We'll have a quick conversation with Ian as he wins the family. I don't think I mentioned Linnell's what he won. He won the Compete Award. But now we've got Ian coming up here, and he won the Family Award. So, congratulations to Ian. So we always like to ask the guys, you win a specific award. Why do you feel like the coaches looked at you and thought family is the one that you deserve this week?
Well, the way they kind of Coach DeBesse put it, and I would agree too. On Saturday, I don't have many touches on the ball. I don't have many stats put up in the actual game, but every play, I was giving my all and trying to, as the ball goes on, and continue trying to find work and the next thing to help my team.
So that's an important, I would think, mindset. How do you not get down if you're not having the touches that maybe you do want, but you are finding ways to still contribute?
I mean, it's football. I love football. I'm trying out there to have some fun, and I'll do whatever the team needs if that's the role for the week. I just want to see the ball move. So
let's give it up for Ian, who wins the Family Award this week. Congratulations. Luke Gormley, we'll bring him up. We'll go back to the defensive side of the ball. Luke wins the Toughness DNA Award this week. Or like I said, the tough. It was the fight award. My bad.
Yes,
the fight
sir.
award. I looked at.
Yeah.
I was looking at Luke Stewart, and my bad. So Luke Gorman wins the fight award, and let's talk just about the shift that you had to make. Kind of not saying that you're filling the role of a Bradley Stanier, but you kind of had to. What was it like for you out there on Friday night?
It was definitely different. We came in Monday morning, scouting report meeting. Coach Wheeler pulled us our defensive front aside and told us that we were going to need to make some changes. I was up for the challenge. Practicing all week. It was definitely tough. It's definitely a more physically tasking position. I came over to Coach Sanchez on Monday morning, and I'm like, this is the most tired I've been in a while that practice. But Coach Wheeler, Coach Sanchez, they worked with me all week. They got me in the position that I felt that I needed to be to feel comfortable to go out and play on Friday night, and we did our part.
From we're in the booth watching you. From my perspective, I felt like the fight that Coach DeBesse always talked about was maybe the most evident from all season long. You win the fight award, but how do you feel like? How did you feel like the team fought as things almost slipped away, but you guys were able to battle back? What do you think about the fight of this club?
I think we definitely fought very hard. We came into the game with a goal to get at least 3 takeaways. We had 2 in the first quarter, and we didn't stop there. We were happy with it, but we needed to keep those points off the board if we knew we wanted to win. So we kept on fighting, kept on hitting that ball out, kept on making plays on the ball with our defensive backs, getting some great interceptions, and just relentless effort.
Well, Luke, appreciate it, man. Congratulations on the fight award. Let's
Thank
give it up
you.
for Luke and all of our DNA winners. I don't think anybody else is here. Oh, do we have Luke Stewart here? Luke Stewart is here. What's up, Luke? Let's give it up for Luke Stewart. Wins the Toughness Award. You were busy on Friday. You saw the ball a whole lot. Just how do you feel about kind of the way you were able to perform once you did get that football?
I'm glad I got the opportunity to just give my team a chance to win and just do good and make plays happen.
Yeah, those runs after the catches are probably the ones that stand out. Is that something that you really take a whole lot of pride in?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I get the ball in my hands, I just try to make something happen in it like any way I can.
So why do you feel like you won that Toughness Award this week?
Fourth quarter, I took a pretty good hit, and I didn't let that just stop me. I tried, I got healthy, and then I came back in the game and just kept going.
Well, congratulations, and congratulations to all of our DNA Award winners this week. Let's give them a hand. And Coach DeBesse is going to come up here, and he's going to introduce our special guest.
First thing, though, is we were missing a DNA award winner. What did he get?
Daniel won the
Discipline.
Award.
Daniel Campos won the Discipline Award. So not having Daniel here is kind of like having Daniel here. But we missed Daniel. But Daniel's under the weather. Before I introduce the coaches, Philip, you want to come up?
Let's give it up for Philip, everybody.
Okay, so Philip is our MVP, okay, as far as our football program is concerned. Would you say you're a member of the coaching staff? Would you say you're one of the players? How would you describe yourself?
I do like to play on, but we're going to be so great.
There you go. You're the number one Mustangs fan, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Now I want you to tell the people in the audience, when the players are lifting weights, what are you doing?
What I'm doing is I'm working out with Gobby. Actually telling me what he's doing or not, but with Gobby, actually had to play football, and actually he is grabbing me as we work out.
There you go. Nobody works harder in the weight room than this guy right here, okay? Nobody works harder, okay? So we're proud of you, so I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew who Philip was, okay? Because you are the team favorite. You understand that?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so our special guests are our two coordinators, Coach Hyde and Coach Wheeler, and I really wanted to get them here. I know all of you know them, but I wanted to get them here for more than anything else, just for recognition for the unbelievable job that they've done with, both sides of the ball. I really think that these guys both have everything that it takes to somewhere down the road be very, very, very successful head coaches, have their own programs at some point. Players love these guys, and I love them too, and I'm glad they're here. So Coach Hyde, our offensive coordinator, and Coach Wheeler, our defensive coordinator.
Well, welcome, welcome. Appreciate you guys being here with us.
Absolutely.
Let's start before we kind of dive into you guys as coaches and all that. Let's look a little bit at kind of the season and maybe even last week a little bit. But starting on the offensive side of things and starting, I really thought the O-line started to assert their will there in the second half. How did you feel that the O-line performed? Because I do want to make sure we get all the titles. It's assistant, head coach, OC, and O-line coach, right?
Yes,
You got
I
them all.
believe so.
Okay, perfect. You believe so.
Bus driver, other duties as assigned.
The MVP. So tell us just specifically about the O-line, if you could.
So we were finally starting to click a little bit. You know, it's a group of 5, 2 that had ever played in a varsity game before. The other 2 of the other 3 are sophomores. So it's taken us several weeks to really get our stride to where we understand the scheme. With our abilities, we're doing something new this year with flipping size, strong and quick. So it's taking them some adjustment to get to that. So we're really starting to feel out what we can and can't do, and they're starting to excel at those things.
And I didn't. Obviously, you talk about flipping sides, and it always notice because Daniel will sometimes be on the left side, and then he'll flip over to the right. How do you feel like the offense as a whole has adapted to that style?
You know, in 300 plus snaps, we have not messed that part up yet. Okay, I need to knock on wood or something.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it'll be my fault if it happens.
It's a challenge because they are listening in the huddle for that specifically, along with the play. It's a lot more that they have to hear, and they've done a great job adjusting to that this season.
Well, Coach Wheeler, let's talk a little bit about the defensive side of things. And it feels like most weeks this defense is doing more than enough to get a win. How do you feel like the defense is performing? I know the turnovers showed up here this last week, but how do you feel like your guys are performing?
I do think that 5 of the 7 we've been competitive, and the kids get all the credit because they're working their butts off. And y'all kind of alluded to the musical chairs that we had going on Friday night, but these two, Linnell, the guys that aren't here, I just feel blessed to be able to coach them because I walk in a room and it's just smiles and everybody's happy. And Coach, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And so that in and of itself is more than a lot of programs get. And I know that's obviously a credit to the parents because these kids work their tails off. I would say our biggest shortfall right now would probably be consistency. Because you see glimpses in games where these kids just play rock solid and fit everything exactly how we're asking them to do it, flying to the football, bad intentions, getting in the fight, getting ATs, and we'll do it and we'll do it and we'll do it and we'll do it, and then something will go wrong, right? And so I think for us, it's a kind of a lack of consistency is where we're at. But with that being said, this group right here is one of the funnest I've ever gotten to coach.
We could talk X's and O's and all that, and I think more importantly is the stories of these kids and the lives that you get to impact. So I want to ask both of you kind of the same question, and Coach Hyde, we can start with you, but just with you in a tough season and the lessons that you're trying to learn, what's your why? What's the reason that you get up every day? It's not just to win football games, but what's the why and why you continue to pour into these kids?
We had this conversation in the offensive line room Saturday, of why do you do hard things? Because someday you're going to be a husband, you're going to be a father, and you're going to wake up and you don't get to be that some of the time. Every day you wake up and you're a father, you're a husband. You don't get to sometimes be a football player, so you're practicing for that now. You're doing the hard things now so that way later in life you look back and go, well, that wasn't so hard. But it's those things that shaped you and calloused you to that blue-collar mentality of I got to get the job done. and it's instilling that in them because it has been a challenging season. Our side of the ball, we've had some major ups and downs week to week. Coach Wheeler talks about inconsistency. That we've had our share of that, but it's to instill in these guys that you're still working towards something. You're still in a room with other guys that you got to look around and you got to look them in the eyes and say, I'm doing this for you, because that's what we do. We play for each other, and that's the end goal, is to make sure that wins, losses, that's all great, but at the end of the day, we're preparing them to be great husbands and fathers for the future.
That's a great answer. Yeah, I love that. We can give a hand for that answer. That's a really good answer. Coach Wheeler, same thing. What is it that gets you out of bed every day?
Well, what gets me out of bed generally is my 5-year-old crawling in bed about 4:30 in the morning. But no, it's funny because when you ask me my why, 10 years ago, the answer was totally different. When I started in this business, I thought the why was to win football games. And so that was why I did this. And it took me having 2 little girls to realize that's good, and kind of what Coach Hyde alluded to. That's good, but that's not the whole thing, right? Because I look at all these young men a whole lot different than I did prior to having 2 little girls. And so now the standard for them is raised a lot more, because I look at these guys as potential son-in-laws, and you have to meet this standard if so kind of what Coach Hyde alluded to, being great husbands and fathers is kind of the goal, right? But I don't think it's a coincidence. We talk about doing hard things all the time on defense, and how doing hard things is worth it. I don't think it's a coincidence that the traits necessary to being a great football player and athlete, like discipline, toughness, perseverance, trust, those are the same traits required to being a great husband and father. So if we can get that across to these kids while still getting to have fun and play football and kind of build that camaraderie together, I think it's a win-win.
Well, another outstanding answer. Appreciate both of you guys being here. Let's give these coaches a hand for the work they're doing. Outstanding. Thank you, guys. We'll turn over to Coach DeBesse as he will go through some film for us.
I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then maybe we want to get Mike LeFavors in here and recognize him for hosting us. Here he is. Okay.
I signed the checks.
Signed the checks. But I've said it before. Tremendous friend of Grapevine, not just Grapevine football, Grapevine, all over Grapevine. Okay, he's a friend over here too. But he's always told me that Grapevine is his all-time favorite.
Yeah. That's it.
But what he does for our program and what he does for all the programs at Grapevine High School is absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. When you talk about generosity. Things he doesn't have to do, okay? Things he doesn't have to do. He'd still run this business and have success if he didn't do it, and he does it out of goodness of his heart. So thank you very much.
No problem.
All right. So the opening clip here, we had turned the ball over on our first series, okay, on an interception, and it was on our side of the 50. And so they drove down, and obviously they're in scoring territory. They're inside the 10-yard line. This is Tatum Evans right here. Okay, watch Tatum on the bottom of the screen right here. Get disconnected from the left tackle right here, and here's a strip. Okay, you can see him with his left arm right there, strip the ball out. Not only does he strip the ball out, but he actually recovers the football too. So that's a fumble caused and a fumble recovery for Tatum right there. So great way to start off the game as far as our defense is concerned after a not a great start offensively, but to keep them out of the end zone there, that's a huge victory for us early on. So great job by the defense and great job by Tatum here. And here's another shot at it. But it's a great individual effort. Okay. I think that's Luke Gormley standing them up right there too, which helps Tatum be able to strip it. Okay. All right. So we get the ball, we run a play, make a yard, and then Jalen makes a really good check for us right here. He takes us out of an option to the right, takes us to an inside zone here away from the pressure, and Julian pops it. And it's obvious right here that we're not going to outrun anybody. You know, we don't have the juice right there to outrun those guys. So Julian's going to be in traffic right here. He's got to protect the football. Okay, right here he's got to have both hands on the ball and protect the football. It's obvious he's going to get tackled right here. And unfortunately, he's loose with the ball, and they strip it loose. So this was our second turnover of the evening. Unfortunately, it was very well blocked. This was one of our explosive plays on the night. Offensive line does a good job of creating space. Okay, Julian pops through nicely, but you can see right there he's loose. He's more concerned about the defender than he is the protecting the football, and it obviously cost us. Okay, I think Linnell. I told the football team, and I told Linnell. To me, Linnell Randolph looked like what a corner is supposed to look like Friday night. I thought he had some two really big time plays. You'll see one later on, but this is the interception. This is also in the first quarter. Okay, so this represents the fourth turnover of the first quarter, both teams. But he's up top there. Coach Wheeler talks about, in fact, he was talking to the defense, I believe on Friday, about this is the lowest percentage throw in football, throwing from one hash to the far sideline. The ball's in the air for a long time, and that's what defenses want offenses to throw right there because of that. That ball hangs in the air a long time. Linnell goes up and makes a really athletic play. And again, to me, that's what a corner should look like. And not only is he making an athletic play, he keeps his feet, does a pop-up. Looks like an offensive guy right there. Looks like a receiver. So that's a heck of a return after a big-time play. Okay. Incomplete throw right here. 1st and 10. Just being harassed, okay? This is Michael Utorka, who played really solid, really physical. He always plays physical. I'll go ahead and take it to the tight right here. If you watch Mike at the top of the screen, he's stunting. Okay, watch the running back try to step up and take him on. Michael is by far the more aggressive, okay? Sheds the blocker and puts pressure on the quarterback right there and causes an errant throw. So really good physicality right there on Michael's part. Here we go offensively. First quarter, we actually threw the ball 30 times, I think. I think we threw the ball 30 times the other night. I think we completed 17. Most of them quick game. But between Luke Stewart and Cale Thompson, we had two receivers that really had big nights. Here's Cale right here. You can catch Cale in the local GHS theater. Is it this weekend? I think it starts, doesn't it? Or maybe it's next weekend it starts. But anyway, so here's Cale right here running inside breaking route. Good timing on Jalen's part. I thought what Cale did a good job of was just running really physical. We thought coming into the year that Cale had a chance to be a good receiver for us because he's so big. And you can see him bouncing around right there. That was 2nd and 16, so to be able to pick up a first down on that long yardage situation is a big-time accomplishment right there. He's actually developing more confidence as the season starts to wind down. He's had 2 really good games in a row. Field position is a big part of football, okay? We didn't capitalize on the ball being on their side of the 50, but Jalen Holmes steps in, had a great game punting the ball. Jalen Holmes steps in and does a really good job with the coffin kick. This is a win for Grapevine right here because all of a sudden the Colony has to start at their 5-yard line. So as you talk about the battles within the war, you know, we just won this battle right here as far as field position. That's Adam Bordowski down there covering the football, doing a nice job. Our punt team did a good job overall all night long. Okay. 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line where they just got the ball. Okay, another really good stop. Watch Luke Gormley down here on the bottom. I want you to watch him separate right there, okay? That's not easy to do, and that's a giant he's playing against, okay? That's the first time that's the first time Luke has played this position right here. He had to, obviously. Again, one of the reasons we're so proud of our guys, we've talked about Cooper Towery moving inside, Thomas going back to safety, Carlos going to corner, Luke going to defensive end. It's just whatever we got to do, Coach, whatever we got to do. So really, that's a great job of Luke right there creating separation against what's a really big, long offensive lineman right there, okay? keeping them down there was critical. So they punt the ball to us, okay, short punt, we end up getting a short field off it, come back with the same route on the other side, this time to Luke, okay? So Luke was just like Kale. Luke did a really good job after the catch. Watch his toughness after the catch right here. He doesn't have the first down until he ducks his head, and he takes about 4 or 5 of the Colony tacklers with him, okay? So that gave us an opportunity for 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. And we run a triple option to the left here. It's not exactly as we design it. They end up sending 2 guys to the dive. And so Jalen's out there by himself. Jalen did a really good job of running, did a nice job of breaking tackles. Here he breaks a tackle, gets some positive yards, gets us down here now inside the 10-yard line to about the 7. Good blocking downfield. Our receivers did a pretty good job. Obviously, Ian Hatton did a great job on the perimeter. That's why he's here tonight doing the extra. And then the very next play, Luke Stewart is actually dotting the I. So our guest, DNA award winner guest, is actually dotting the I right there. As a wide receiver, we run triple again. Fake it to Julian. Jalen's done a really nice job against edge pressure all year long, getting the ball out quick. That's not an easy thing to do. And then you got the Cousins out here. You got Kale on the outside, and you got Ian on the inside, both taking care of the secondary defenders, and Luke brings it in for a touchdown. So that was a big boost for us after, we had some issues as far as ball security obviously was concerned. I think we made it a 17-7 ball game, maybe going into halftime. Okay, all right. Big time pressure. They try to go play action. Left tackle's beat from the get-go. Okay, that's Luke up top. Okay, Cooper down here. Okay, they don't get him, but they knock the ball loose. Okay, he's loose with the ball, just like we talked about one of our guys being loose with the ball. He's loose with the ball. We almost get it. Cooper punishes, and watch Cooper jump on him right here. Okay, watch the ball squirt out when Cooper jumps on him. Boom. Okay, almost get on that thing. Not quite, but anyway, it ends up a big loss, but a big sack by our guys and a really good job up front. Again, quickness off the edge, man. That helps a bunch. That's one advantage of having a Luke and a Tatum down there. Those guys are natural linebackers, but they provide us with tremendous quickness up front. All right, they complete this thing on 3rd and 17. Okay, this one hurt us a little bit. Okay, and I put this one on here. This still continues to be not nearly what it was, but we still struggle a little bit in space, grabbing a little bit instead of wrapping up and tackling. But our tackling has gotten so much better in the last 3 ball games. The Colony had some good athletes. They had some good weapons. They took their backup quarterback, a guy who had played quarterback, put him at wide receiver. He made some plays for them. So overall, our guys tackled really, really well. Here's a great job by Linnell. Again, in the end zone, they try to run slant and go. See him try to watch the receiver up top, try to stick Linnell. Okay, frees his feet. Linnell flips his hips. Watch him make this is a great job of playing the ball in the air. Okay, there's no way this could be any call for PI right here because Linnell's trying to make a play on the ball. Okay, and then he strips it. Kids get a hands on it, but Linnell's got stronger hands than he does, and he strips the ball. That's a big time play for a corner right there. Really a big time play. Okay, this is right before the half. I guess they got an idea that they're going to go ahead and try to get some more points on the board. We didn't have much time on the clock, so they go ahead and try to throw it, and there's Judah Johnson in the right place at the right time. Judah was one of those guys that went in as a substitute. Brady has already gotten hurt, okay, so Boozer's out. So Thomas is at safety, and Judah goes in at the outside linebacker position, and lo and behold, look what happens. So he's a junior he's got a big future. He really does. He does some really, really good things. We just got to get him a little bit more consistent. But nice play there. Sets up our offense. Unfortunately, we couldn't capitalize as far as a touchdown is concerned, but We did put 3 more points on the board, make it a 17-10 ball game at halftime. Don't talk. Whoops, sorry, we don't have an end zone, but don't talk about this probably enough. But between Cooper, Thomas, and Cade, and of course the guys up front, as far as protection is concerned, that's really good operation right there. Really good operation right there. No, anybody's going to have a hard time blocking that thing, getting that thing off as fast as we did. Cade Moreland probably had his best game kicking the ball. Not just field goals and extra points, but kickoffs as well. This one got us in trouble. Okay, this was disappointing coming right out of the half. If you watch right in the middle of the field, that's Judah Johnson again, the guy we just talked about that made the interception. See how he leaves? Okay, he's leaving too fast. He's looking, but he's leaving too fast. He's not seeing the ball kicked. Okay, and then he's really slow reacting to the onside kick. So this hurt us. Okay, this hurt us. This is something that you look for. You look for people that leave early. I'm not sure he's necessarily leaving early. He's just not reacting fast enough. They end up getting the ball. This was a little bit of a contested call, but as you look at it, it was good execution by the Colony, and it was the right call by the officials. Anybody that was wondering about the call on Boozer, it was targeting. It was a terrible missed call. Terrible missed call. It was the definition of targeting. So we've turned it in, and the only recourse you get out of that is they come back and say, yeah, you're right. So thanks a bunch. That helps a lot. All right, so we had some really good returns, and Luke Stewart was a big part of that. The reason he's here today as the Tough Award winner. So we kind of combated a little bit of that. You'll see a big return later on with our own returns on kickoff. Okay. All right, another good job up front. We got Cedric Hicks in there as a sophomore, kind of anchoring down the middle. That's a big task for a young sophomore against a big offensive line like they had. Okay. But again, look at the separation. This is Michael Utorka coming in and stopping the initial charge, and then Luke finishing him off right off. Again, the separation right there. Look at Luke pushing that big guy back right there, actually pushing him back into the running back right there. That's a heck of a job. Okay, so making it tough on them, making it earn it. I think they might have kicked a field goal there. I'm not sure, but I think they might have kicked a field goal here, there. Okay, this is a 2nd and 10. We weren't great on first down by any stretch of the imagination. We were behind the chains too much, but we did do a pretty good job of converting at times. Here's one of those times we did convert. This is Luke Stewart. First thing I want to do is point out, though, watch Ian Hatton come from the inside receiver, the most inside receiver, right by the line of scrimmage, right in the middle of the field. Watch him come out, run his route. He sees Luke catches the ball. Okay, he gets a knockdown right there, which actually springs Luke, okay, to be able to generate a huge play right here and a big explosive. Really good move right here in the open field. Luke's just a junior. Luke's just finally figuring out how good he can be. He'll be back there returning kicks for us again this week. Okay. All right. We took the ball down. We went for it on 4th and 1. Unfortunately, we had a lineman go the wrong way on 4th and 1, and we didn't convert. And so they take over, and this is the play right after they take over. There's Luke Hecht. Right place, right time, heck of a job. And there's no better feeling for a defensive player than that right there, right? Okay, seeing the end zone in front of you, there's nobody that's got a chance to catch him. So you talk about a huge picker-upper right here as far as the Mustangs were concerned. That got us right back in the game. This made it anybody's ball game right here. Proud of Luke. Luke has stepped in at outside linebacker in a substitute situation, done a really good job for us. Between him and Judah, they're going to have to continue to play well for us. Okay? All right, I'm going to show you this from the end zone. Okay, this is Luke's return in the 3rd quarter or 4th quarter, I guess. Okay, Luke is going to be the one. Luke is going to be on your left. Okay, now he just committed a cardinal sin. Okay, you never bring the ball out when you catch it in the end zone. So that's one of those no, yes kind of a deal as a coach. But look at what a great job our kids are doing of staying on blocks. Look at the gas right there. Okay, Look at the gash right there. He's got a chance. Then he's got another chance right there. The reason that one opens up is because our kids are doing a great job of staying on blocks. Again, unsung, things that don't appear in the box score, but guys just doing their job. Watch Thomas Powers. Thomas Powers is the other returner. Watch Thomas come up to the hash and pick this guy off right. Boom, there. Okay? So that's a great job being physical. Really good job of Luke giving us some life right here, giving us a chance. Okay. Really a good throw right here. I mean, really a good concept, really a good throw right here. This is called Y flood. So Ian's going to be on a corner route. Then we got a spot route by Luke out here. We got a flat control by Julian on the bottom here to try to pull the flat defender out, which it does. You can see Luke just jump right inside the flat defender on the hash. Jalen does a good job of sitting in there and being patient. Great job of pass protection by the offensive line against a twist, against a stun up there by the D-line, okay? And there's Luke. Big play, okay? So we're trying to drive right now to get to within a 7-point ball game is what we're trying to do, okay? So we come back again with the inside breaking route, okay? I believe this is this Luke again? Or is this Kale? Coach, who is this? This is Kale. Okay, this is Kale again. I can't tell. One's 81 and one's 18, and I'm old. Okay, but again, really good throw by Jalen, really good protection. This is what they were giving us. They never stopped it all night long. Okay, credit to our receivers for making plays after the catch. Okay, same thing here, same thing down here to Kale. I thought Kale was going to score. Thought right there he's going to stick his foot in the ground and score. He tried. Okay. Did a really good job of lowering his shoulder, putting ourselves in a position, though, inside the 5-yard line to get it to within a 7-point game, which is exactly what happens right here, not how we draw it up. Okay. We were trying to throw a throw to the flat to Ian up top, either a throw to the flat or a fade ball up top. Jalen didn't feel good about it, thought it was too crowded. So, like he did all night long, he did a good job of tucking it and running with it. Okay, lowers his head, ends up getting in the end zone, and we get it to within. We kick the extra point, get it to within 7, try the extra point. Didn't quite work out. Okay? And that is it, because that's the first play. All right. So some really good efforts on our kids' part, as always, just not quite enough.
Right, as always, appreciate that, Coach. As you mentioned, 3 weeks left, and you get to play 3 really good teams.
We do.
And it starts with Mansfield Timberview on the road. So take us through what you're expecting in Mansfield on Friday night.
They've won 3 of their last 4. They started off hot. They kind of went through a little bit of a lull in the middle of the season, but they've won 3 of their last 4. I think if you just look at the standings, Argyle's on top. Heritage is number 2. Summit is number 3. Summit beat Timberview 21-20, so it was a great ball game. Obviously, an even ball game. I'd say those guys are toss-ups as far as who number 3 might be. But right now they sit 4th in the league. They've made their calling card as their defense. Really a strong defensive front, just like the last 2 teams we played. Heavy pressure. Like to mix it up a little bit. Got DBs that can run with anybody, and so we'll have our work cut out for us there, particularly up front in the offensive line. And then kind of like Arlington Seguin, do quite a bit offensively and do quite a bit different. In other words, they could look like a power team. They could look like they get under the center and and run the football between the tackles, and then they've got guys on the outside that are scary as far as targets are concerned. And so, a sound football team, but I mean a football team that, if we play our best football, and find a way not to beat ourselves, hey, we can go to Mansfield Timberview and come away with a victory.
Why don't we just do that then?
Why don't we
Let's do that.
Hey,
Let's do that.
Let's just do that.
Hope to see everybody on Friday in Mansfield, taking on Mansfield Timberview. Next coaches show next Monday, Chicken and Pickle will be the location. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to Feedstore BBQ, and we will see you on Friday. Go Mustangs.